getting into D&D 5e is really nice.
Yeah.
I haven't been having a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I started. Well, I played it years ago, but I actually started getting into it properly with 4E, and it was just painful. We ended up going back and doing 3, third edition, rather than 4th, because it was just fucking such a pain in the ass. And then 5E came out, and the heavens aligned, and I was like, yeah, cool.
Nice. This is Seep's first campaign, and I've started my first in March, I think. So we're all pretty new to this.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
That's alright, we've got Katie, at the very least, as a veteran.
Hell yeah.
Morton, I don't know, are you a D&D vet?
I've played some, but it's been a few years,
Yeah.
and only 5e and a few sessions of Pathfinder.
Yeah, fair enough. Katie, I think you've actually ran Curse of Strahd, haven't you? Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually okay. So I've played the first couple levels with a GM friend of mine, but he didn't really enjoy it because of the level of preparation needed.
Yeah.
And then years later I ran it, and then since then, I've basically been, I don't know if I want to say obsessing, but that's probably closest. I've kind of been studying it. No, I know, because I do plan to run it again in the future, but I've been looking at like a lot of the older material.
Yeah.
Because I got access to like some of the 2nd edition and like 3rd edition Ravenloft stuff, and I want to incorporate that stuff into a campaign that I'd run in the future and like flesh it out a bit, and make it like maybe like levels like 1 to 20 even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah.
Damn.
If you're needing a player for that, just saying I'm available.
I don't know when I would run that, because currently I'm running 3 D&D campaigns, a bunch of different one-shots, plus all the games that I play in. So to say that I like games is probably an understatement.
Yeah,
I'm
But
running my first one-shot this Friday.
yeah.
Oh, nice.
Great. Welcome.
So it's gonna be hell.
Yeah. Welcome to being a DM. The power is intoxicating. Never mind.
I really do enjoy it though.
Yeah.
I see a lot of posts on like LFG, like forever DM looking to play for once. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I get it that not everybody wants to run all the time, but like I really do enjoy running the game. I really do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No. Well, the main reason I ran this is because me and a friend of mine started it once, playing it, and for whatever reason the group sort of fell apart. We just stopped meeting because it was in person, so it was awkward to actually go and meet each time.
Yeah.
And since then I was like, I absolutely loved the story and the idea of it. I was like, I really want to play this, and so eventually I got to the point where I was like, do you know what, fuck it, I'm going to run it. I want to go through this in one way, shape or form, so I'm going to run it.
Yeah, I ran it. When I ran in person.
Yeah.
With at a public game store. Basically, different players every week. Sometimes we had 3, sometimes we had 12. It was quite the experience.
Yeah, like your own D&D league.
Yeah, is it Adventures League type thing?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Okay.
So we play at a store, but it's still technically like air quotes homebrew. We're not playing Adventures League, which has like another layer of rules on top of it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I don't enjoy Adventures League, but I don't have to get into that right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's fine.
Alright, so I think we're just about ready. Oh, one thing I do need to tell you is, I think I told you I'm changing jobs, so I may need to tweak times of things if that affects it. It may not.
Oh, you got a job?
Not yet, but fingers crossed. I had an interview this morning.
Yeah.
Ooh. But also, my wife and I have both been accepted to do a master's degree at Queen's in cybersecurity.
Wow.
Hey, good.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And it's just the course is during the day, but just there might be times if I've got maybe a deadline of shit I need to do, I may need to push a game back or something. But I'll always try and do that fucking well in advance if it looks like I'm gonna need that this evening to do shit.
Understandable.
But like I say, I'll let you know well in advance, and yeah, that's it. Just to give you a heads up. Hopefully, won't be an issue because I'll be all over it, and I won't be doing anything last minute. And the world is a lovely place. No,
It is.
yeah. Anyway, right. Okay, so last time you had a little bit of a kerfuffle in the church. You went to bury the body of the burgomaster, and I've just realised I'm missing tokens in here.
Went flawless.
Yeah, it went flawlessly. You went in, you discovered that the priest of the area has seemingly went mad. And whenever you went down into the basement of the church, you found his son Duru, who was quite clearly a vampire. He fought you. I know. Yeah, spoiler warning. I know. You's got into a fight. He wasn't really keen on fighting you. He was just sort of trying to get out of the way, and eventually he did manage to escape. Whenever he did, he went outside.
Tried our best to keep him in there.
Yeah, Eric as well did. I mean, he just went above and beyond. So like whenever Dory ran at him, he masterfully stepped out of the way and let him past. It was a thing of beauty. IQ 10,000 play there. And whenever Dory left, he left in the middle of the day, but by the time you got outside, you realised that there was big thick storm clouds had seemingly just converged on your location, and Strad appeared. And he turned up and obviously was talking to you. Generally didn't seem keen on a fight, but he was also trying to entice fucking tokens. How long? Sorry, preparation is brilliant today. Completely on point. Sorry, I completely forgot to copy these things. Yes, he was trying to talk to Irina and Ismark. He was obviously trying to entice Irina again to try and leave and come with him back to the castle. He's got a bit of a crush on her, as far as you can tell. And whenever she was not compliant, not even willing to really speak to him, he raised the body of the burgomaster. He resurrected him. Well, resurrected his body anyway. And they all left, presumably to Castle Ravenloft. After that, you left with Irina and Ismark heading towards the town of Vallaki. Pronounced it right this time.
Yay.
Yay. However, page is unresponsive. Fantastic. Wait. On your way there, Eric, you knew that the encampment of the Vistana, or Vastani, who you were speaking to in the pub, you knew that their encampment was not far, and they'd advised you to go there and talk to Madame Eva, who was a mage and fortune teller of sorts. And you have just came up to this encampment, and as you just came up to it, the sort of the road gradually sort of disappeared into a sort of muddy path. And that eventually led into a bit of a clearing through the trees, where there was wagons and tents set up and a large fire blazing in the middle. And there was a lot of Vistani standing around and milling about, and they were dressed very similarly to the way the girls were dressed in the bar, in the pub. The same sort of browns and with dashes of bright colours through it. And that's when you arrive. And Irina and Ismark are close behind, as soon as I copy their tokens across properly.
They're tiny.
Maybe we're just very large.
What are the horses then?
They are horses.
Yeah,
That
but
is,
size-wise,
Size-wise, they are very large draft horses. You would they would look like the sort that you wouldn't necessarily ride, but are more for pulling wagons. And there's 8 of them. They seem to be just milling about and drinking from the river.
So, Eric,
Yes.
why did you want to go here again?
We need to talk to Madame Eve. She apparently knows things that we might want to know.
Whoa. Show ahead. There he
We
is.
just need to figure out who she is.
I thought you knew.
I mean, I obviously haven't met her, but I mean, I was told she was here. So I guess we just walk up to the first person and ask where she is.
Arena and Ismark, can you stay behind us? We don't know who these people are.
Ismark sort of looks at you, and as Irina goes a step forward, he sort of puts a hand on her shoulder and he goes, we'll wait for you here. I don't trust these folk.
That's
You
right.
you go ahead, Eric. I'll keep a watch out.
Right.
And I'll just watch for anything behind us or anything.
Into the gypsy camp we go.
Okay, so as
Can I say something real quick?
yeah,
Okay. And it's gonna make a great like first impression with everyone.
Oh,
But I
yes.
really don't appreciate the word gypsy. It's actually a racial slur. And I know that it's like I know it sounds strange, but like just if we could do me a favor and not use it, I'd be really appreciative.
Sure.
yeah, sure.
That's it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
So as you go into the camp, you see the Vistani are all sort of milling about. They all seem to be having quite a nice time. There's sort of, a few of them are drinking and chatting. Although standing beside the fire camp, you see someone who stands out quite a bit because she's not dressed in the same way as the Vistani are. And do you want to introduce your character?
Yeah.
Or,
So
well, at least what she looks like anyway.
yeah. You see a tall, kind of strong built woman with like a gorgeous light gray cloak that has two they kind of look like moons, but one is dark gray and one is green, and there's like a sword like behind the two moons, like I can imagine like an emblem or a herald or something like that, right? On the back of her cloak. And the sword on her cloak looks just like the sword that she's got at her side, which is like a brilliant, like long sword with like jewels and gold and obviously well taken care of in a decorated like sheath. And she's wearing, sturdy armor, and she looks like she'd know what she's doing, but she also has a very kind of confused and perplexed look on her face. And yeah, she looks like she's kind of like built for battle, you could say.
Yeah, so you see this woman, as described, just standing. I don't know. Would you be standing beside the fire? Would you be sitting, sort of joining in, or would you be just like, I don't know?
Probably sitting, trying to, like kind of like get my bearings
Yeah.
and learn from the people here at the camp, like, where am I?
Yep.
Pardon me.
Okay, so yeah, Eric and Rory, you see this woman sitting there as well as the other Vistani milling about going on. They don't seem to be paying her too much attention.
Well, neither do I. Um, I approached the first guy.
Mhm.
The first guy that I run into, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah.
One nearest to where we came from.
Mhm.
And I ask, I introduce myself and say that I have met some of their people in the town of.
Barovia.
Yes, exactly, Rovia. And that I was told that there was a Madame Eve here who might be able to help us.
Nice.
And I ask if he knows anything about this.
Yeah. He turns around and he's like, and he puts his hand on your shoulder. He's like, you met those three troublemakers. Hope they didn't give you too much bother. And as he's
Oh,
talking,
no,
you can smell the drink off him. He's had a few. And he's just like, Madam Eve, yes, she's in the big tent at the back there, and he sort of points over this direction.
Okay. Thanks. Does she take visitors? Is this like a walk-in thing, or do I need an appointment?
You're never unexpected.
Oh, right, yeah, seeing into the future. Yeah, I guess appointment. That makes sense.
And he says, "If you're going," and he points to the woman that you've seen sitting by the fire. He's like, "Take that one with you. She's wanting to speak to her as well."
Oh, well, is there any reason she hasn't spoken to her? I mean, she seems to have been here before us.
He just sort of shrugs and goes, "The timing wasn't quite right," and then takes a swig from his drink.
Serious.
But if you're able to see into the future, can't you plan ahead and sort of get its timing right?
I can't see into the future. He says,
No.
"Although maybe after a few more of these, I might be able to read you a fortune, eh?"
All right.
I'll get back to you on that.
I'm gonna allow it to do. Introduce myself.
Yep. Oh, 2 seconds. Turn your volume up a wee bit. There we go.
All right. Well, hello. My name is Aurora. I'm with my friends. We're also going to talk to Madame Eve. You seem a bit confused. How did you get here?
I don't know.
Ah, yes. I know. I sometimes end up places I didn't expect. Like last night, for example, this morning, technically. Woke up in a room at the inn. Don't recall going. The room, that is. I remember the fondly.
Did you have also too much to drink and stumbled on a midnight stroll and then ended up somewhere else?
Sorry, did I miss something? My kids are asking me questions.
I asked if you also had too many drinks and took a lovely midnight stroll and ended up in some weird, creepy looking forest.
The last thing I remember was the second moon. Where are the moons?
In the
Moons?
sky?
There should be 3 moons. I can't see any.
Can we not actually see any moons?
Isn't it day?
Yeah, it is
Day.
daytime, but in this land, it's constantly like dim, and there's a fog. So even though it's daytime, like the